Good morning, YouTube. It is 10 a.m. in the great state of Texas. And what do we have here? We have some leftover poplar wood from, I just went through puberty, my voice squeaked there. I don't know if you caught that. Some leftover poplar wood from another project. So you guys are probably watching this in November. And if you stick around and watch my video in December, the first week in December, you're going to see where this wood came from. So had this left over, decided, you know what, this is still a nice chunk of wood. We can definitely do something with it. So going to go ahead, put the faceplate on there, and we're going to make a little bowl out of it. Nothing too fancy. You guys have been watching all the epoxy projects that I've done here in the past, 8 months, and just trying to break it up with some different stuff. So this is part of the marathon of projects, if you guys aren't familiar with that. So basically all the videos you guys have seen for the entire year were done in March of 2022. Had this work thing that got sprung up on me with 2.5 weeks notice, and I wanted to keep growing the channel. So I did over 20 projects, somewhere around 20 projects in 2.5 week span. And this is wood from one of those projects, and obviously this is part of the marathon as well. So got the actual poplar wood. This is poplar wood, by the way, if I haven't mentioned that. Also, if I haven't mentioned, this is like my 12th commentary this morning, so a little tired right now. I just need to get some sleep, so that's why I'm kind of all over the place. But as you saw from the beginning of the video what the blank looked like, it was pretty much well formed already. It was just something that we cut down and couldn't make a bowl out of. So this is just leftover stuff. So not a whole lot of material that we needed to take down. We just needed to do a little bit of a finer edge work on there, get the bottom nice and round, come back and make a mortise, and then get this flipped and gouged out. So here we are, just getting the parting tool in there, raising the banjo to the appropriate height that we need, and then just coming back and working the wood out the way we need to for the mortise. The bad thing about this piece of wood, so the grain is going in the wrong direction, so this was a little bit harder to work through, and you'll see that in a later video using the other half of that piece of wood, by the way. So once we got the mortise made the way that we wanted to, got it to the appropriate size, now all we're doing is coming back and taking the faceplate off, and it's already pretty much in its nice little bowl shape there. So got that flipped onto the lathe. Now we're just going to come back, make everything nice and flush, which is super important to do when you're doing these projects. This is poplar wood, like I said, which is usually a softer wood, and it's pretty easy to work with. However, depending on where the grain of the wood is, if you wood turn against the grain, you're going to have a lot of other issues. So here in a little bit, when we actually start the gouging portion of it, you'll see that we had a little bit of an issue. And another interesting fact, this is actually the last bowl in the marathon that you guys are watching right here. So you can see here, I initially went with the bowl gouge, thinking I could just get through it pretty easy, but just like in the video that you guys are going to see a little bit later on this year, going against the grain, and I've done this before, I've been successful with going against the grain on these poplar wood projects, but I just kind of didn't have the patience for this one because this was like the 7th project that I did by this time. And here we are, my dumbass decided to get this thing out and try to gouge it out, which it wasn't working either, and my tailstock is broke, so I don't know why I thought that was going to be a good idea, but obviously it got sorry, I'm super tired. It got us started on the actual gouging portion of it, but this is actually the last project that I did in the marathon. Even though you guys are watching this in November, there's actually several more projects throughout the year. The last project that I did in the marathon is actually posted for January 1st. That's the New Year's Eve bowl. But in the big scheme of all these projects that I did, this is actually the last bowl that we did in the marathon series. And there's only one other project that we did after that, and we'll see that a little bit later in the year. So just basically working most of the material down with the square carbide tool. We just took millimeter by millimeter off of this, and obviously if you are watching real close to the lathe, it actually stops the actual turning of the belt because it's so difficult to get that turned down. My tools are sharp, everything's good, but it's just tedious working against the grain, which makes it a lot more difficult to do. and basically just having to just really take our time on this, which was a little bit of an issue. Kind of was impatient with it, but overall we got it to the nice depth that we wanted. So it was a little, shallow little bowl here, nothing too fancy. You can see we're getting more just wood chips and wood shavings. Actually, it's not even shavings, it's just dust at this point. And look at that corner, look at all that. That's from all 2.5 weeks of wood turning right there. So I thought, instead of just doing a regular poplar bowl, I'd come back, take the parting tool, do some accents to it, and we just, took it and went all the way up the actual length of the bowl there. Nothing too fancy. Actually, I thought the lip of the bowl was going to explode on a couple of those. You can see there, looks a little bit better, but obviously we got to do the sanding portion of it. So we went from like 80 to like, I think 280, 80 grit all the way up to 280, and that kind of took away from the little accents that we did there, but went ahead, went back, and then gouged it out even more, those little accent pieces. So here we are, got everything nice and neat, and now we're just taking that wood wax, food grade wood wax, and just polishing it up, getting that nice pop on that poplar wood. Nice pop on the poplar wood. Oh God, I'm tired. I really need to go to sleep, but got everything nice and neat. It was good that we used this piece of actual wood. We didn't have to throw it away, and it kind of worked out, mixing things up. I'm sure, I try to do different things on the channel, but when you are squeezed for time and only have 2.5 weeks to get this stuff done, it makes it a lot more difficult. So here we are. I don't know what I'm going to call this one. It looks like I don't know what this is. I don't know what I'm going to call this, but like I said, this was the last bowl that we made out of the marathon. So was just happy to be done with this one. I had been up in the wood shop 12 hours this day, just getting projects cranked out, but overall really happy with it. A nice fitting end to the marathon, but you can see how beautiful this looks when we were all done with it. So hope you guys got something out of it. Hope you guys liked the marathon. The marathon goes a couple of more months, but don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Alright, so project is done. This is the last bowl of the marathon. I don't know when you guys are watching this. There could be other projects ahead, but this little guy doesn't look too bad. Really like the little details I added with the parting tool in it. Just trying to, make, poplar a little bit more, I don't know, something a little bit different. But this is the last project in the marathon. Actually, there's one more project that's left, but this is the last bowl in the marathon. So I've already done my last epoxy project for the marathon, and this is the last bowl that I've done for the marathon. So I don't know when you guys are going to watch this. Maybe December, maybe early spring, fall, summer. I don't know. But I'm exhausted. It's March 30th. It's 5:30 in the morning when we're finishing this up. But overall, really happy the way this turned out. We did 6 projects tonight. 6 of them. And they don't look too bad. So hope you liked it. Hope you got something out of it. Don't forget to subscribe. Hopefully, I don't know when I'm posting this, but hope everybody's doing okay out there. So I got a work thing, gotta go to. So anyway, I gotta go. All right, peace. See you in the next one.